And what I notice is most men that, let's say commit to the first girl or the first couple girls that gives them a little bit of attention is a man that doesn't have options, or it's not abundant. So as a guy, you sit there and you go, oh crap, this pretty young thing is giving me something I rarely get. And as a man, you shouldn't be in that position. That's a very scarce position. That's you living on scarcity. Then you got to rely on someone else to satisfy you in certain areas in life. And that's not a fun game to play as a man. Because what's so funny? Girls don't play that. Girls don't have an issue with that. they have options. They always have options. But as a man, if you play that position, it's not a good framework to work with, let's say. Going back to energy. Sometimes dedicating, studying, let's say for extroverts, and just sitting in one place and doing something over and over again is boring, and that could be draining to an extrovert, because that extrovert wants to engage in the environment. They want to, let's say, become outgoing, interact with other people, joke around, dance, sing. And the funny thing is, like the introvert, they actually gain energy for sharing energy. And we're all so different, and we're all so very different. This is nothing new, but it's always something to highlight within yourself. The better you understand yourself, the better you can gauge how much energy you're putting into stuff, into your own personal life. You can measure what things you need to start to put energy towards, what things you may be or may have to pull back energy towards. And there's only so much energy you could give out in your lifespan, let's say. And that's why, a person like me, I've dedicated a lot of energy to understanding these things, these hidden things about myself, because I know it's beneficial long term. As they say, that one droplet of water, let's say over a waterfall, hits that part of the rock, or let's say a stream, is always hitting the side of the rock every time. But it does it for so long, just little by little, and chips away at the rock. And those analogies become a big pivotal moment when you do the same thing in your life with energy, with the stuff you pay attention to, with the small things you start to pour into, and then you see the effects of it. You see how it plays out. You see how it works. And that could happen with a negative thing, One droplet of negativity in your mind, then it goes to 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you created a mood around you. You created a personality that started with one idea that you couldn't get over. That started with one thought, and then it turned to a bunch of other thoughts, and then that train of thoughts turned to this big cloud, and this big cloud gets you the things you get, and you don't even know it. You know, be careful. Energy is so sacred, man. I'm telling you. People, things shouldn't always have it for free. It should be, you know, given as a exchange of, hey, I value you, you value me. We're both exchanging this moment. I love spending it with you.